So here's a little pinch. In this area, I don't inject antegrade like other areas. I tend to advance my needle up until I feel the tip right below my fingertip. And you see where it is, just right there in the suborbital area. But it is deep. And you see that little lifting of it there. I'll pull my needle back a little bit and then advance it again without injecting until I get to where I want to be. And then I'll put in another little depot. And I go back and then redirect, go a little more anteriorly, staying deep. And then again to get all the way over to the lateral canthus area. And if you're deep, you tend to miss on any of these veins that swing around the lower orbit. And I just go in and you feel each little individual bleb down against the bone and palpate it down until it feels flat. And if you have to, you just go back in and can add a little bit more. And we're going to try to just always kind of use the same puncture if we can. Just less needle marks. No. And I'm not injecting antegrade, I'm just advancing my needle. And what I want to do is get it up to the point where I have my finger on the orbital rim, I'm injecting deep. And when I can feel the very tip of the needle underneath my fingertip, then I can inject a little bit. I inject a little bolus here. You can kind of see it fill. And then I can feel a little, kind of a rubbery little bleb. And I just mold it with my finger down. You can even push it up a little bit to get it all the way up to the top of that orbital rim. And then I'm going to use the same injection site and go back in and just put in little boluses all along the orbital rim. And by injecting this far below the orbital rim, it bruises less. If I try to inject too close to the suborbital area there's so many little veins, so it's really easy to give somebody a black eye. But I'm going under most of those veins. So we'll come back and redirect. I want to always be underneath this fat pad. I don't want to inject and make it more prominent. This is an area to be a little conservative, and the main problem I think we have injecting this area is injecting it low, like injecting it when we go to inject. If we don't inject in the depression, but we inject here, it'll just accent the depression. And so, and yet people have a tendency when they first get going in that area to inject too low because they're just afraid to get close to the eye. And I think because we're not ever going inside that orbital rim, we're going right on top of it, we're not going to ever be close to the eye. You can kind of see where it's bulging it up, and my finger's right on the edge of the orbital rim.